Do you prefer drinking the green tea, or do you also supplement with green tea extract?
I personally don't take green tea extract. I use it mostly in cancer treatment. It's one of the nutrients we use to help people who are dealing with cancer because each pill, each capsule of green tea extract has the equivalent of 5 cups of green tea, the various ingredients in green tea. So if people take 4 of those capsules a day, they're getting the benefit of 20 cups of green tea a day.
Wow. And I understand that white tea has a lot of antioxidants as well, and that green tea has been known to have different fluoride levels in them, like bottle teas have a lot, bag teas have a lot, but loose leaf green teas don't. Do you use loose leaf green tea yourself?
I do. I also get, the type that are in the little tea bags, and that's one of the downsides to green tea is I guess tea itself tends to take fluoride up from the soil. So it does have some fluoride in it, which, it may be have some health risks having too high levels of fluoride. So even green tea, there are downsides too as well. Doesn't appear that anything is absolutely perfect, but there are a number of health benefits nonetheless. And it really is with any type of tea. There are health benefits with brown tea. There are health benefits with white tea. There are health benefits with green tea.
I want to close by talking about antioxidants and free radicals, which is a very big deal when it comes to aging. What is your stand right now on how much antioxidants and what kind we're supposed to have? I know you mentioned several of them in the book, and you talk about antioxidants being free radical scavengers, but explain it to the public and give them a frame of reference.
Well, it begins with these things called free radicals. And free radicals simply are molecules that are missing an electron in their outer shell. And therefore, they're unstable. They need to steal electrons from somewhere else. So when free radicals are found in the body, they tend to steal electrons from whatever is close by, which is typically our cell membranes. And they will steal electrons from the molecules in the cell membranes, which will damage the cell membranes and lead to disease processes. So one of the ideas was if we could provide a source of these extra electrons, we would neutralize the free radicals and reduce the damage. And that's the theory behind taking antioxidants. Vitamin C and vitamin E are examples of very commonly used antioxidants in the body. And some that you've mentioned earlier, like alpha-lipoic acid, is an example of another antioxidant. Coenzyme Q10 is an antioxidant. But the idea that we can, that all free radicals are bad is now changing. And what we've learned in the last few years are that we actually need some free radicals in our body, and that extinguishing all the free radicals is not a good idea either. There's this concept, a newly developed concept in medicine known as hormesis. Hormesis. And what hormesis refers to is essentially if the body is stressed by something, it will respond by becoming stronger. So when we go to the gym and we work out with weights, we break down our muscles, we stress our muscles, and our muscles respond by growing bigger and stronger. And the same thing applies with vaccination. When we inject our bodies with some type of toxin, bacteria or viral toxin, our bodies respond by becoming stronger and forming a antibody that will protect us against this in the future. And the same thing applies with free radicals. Apparently, we need a certain amount of free radicals to make our immune system stronger. So abolishing all free radicals, the free radicals are not entirely bad either. So our concepts are changing and are evolving over the years.
Does that mean that you're still, in the meantime, though, during this transition, taking antioxidants?
I have actually reduced the amount of antioxidants I've been taking based on this new information in hormesis. So I think people should be advised that, I think some antioxidants are fine, but we shouldn't go crazy and take every antioxidant that comes along.
There's a lot of new evidence that's coming out about vaccinations. Are you pro-vaccination? Are you in question about vaccination? Have you ever been asked about whether you're for vaccination?
I'm of a mixed mind about vaccinations. I think in general vaccinations are a good thing. Vaccinations have prevented, essentially wiped out polio and reduced the complications we've seen with measles and mumps and things along those lines. I think we may be overdoing it somewhat with vaccinations. So I think giving a newborn child hepatitis vaccine may be pushing it a little bit too much when I think we need to wait for the immune system to form a little bit better. I think we're vaccinating against too many diseases at the present time because it does have immune system effects. We're discovering other problems coming from...
With the adjuncts? Too many problems with the adjuncts in the vaccines?
Yeah, I mean, they do use aluminum. They do use thimerosal. Thimerosal is a mercury-containing adjunct. So there are some problems with that. In my clinic, we've developed what we refer to as a rational vaccination policy for children, where we delay the onset of the vaccines, where we split things like the measles, mumps, rubella into different individual vaccines given on different occasions so we don't overwhelm the child's immune system and things like that. I'm of a mixed mind about the chickenpox vaccine. It's in the overwhelming majority of cases, it's a benign disease. I think having children with chickenpox reduces the incidence of shingles for adults. I think that we're going to see an increased uptick in shingles in adults since we're not being exposed to chickenpox in children. So there are consequences to vaccinations also. So in general, I think they're good, but I think we may be overdoing it to some degree.
What's next for you, Dr. Grossman? What's next for you in terms of your passion and interest in discoveries for radical life extension?
Well, the thing that I'm most excited in medicine right now is the use of stem cells. There are now a number of clinics in the country. My clinic is doing some stem cell work where we're harvesting fat from our patients, taking a few ounces of belly fat, and there is a simple process to essentially isolate the stem cells that are contained within the belly fat. Belly fat is the richest source of stem cells in the body. And then we can take that and use that for both cosmetic applications, to rejuvenate the skin. We can use that to fill in defects in the skin. We can use that to augment areas. And an exciting thing, we can also use it to regrow cartilage. So patients who have severe arthritis of their knees and are looking at having to have a major surgical operation such as a knee transplant or a hip transplant can now undergo a simple liposuction, take a few ounces of belly fat, and have those stem cells injected in their knee. And in the majority of cases, they're having a dramatic improvement in pain and are able to avoid, which is really a big surgery. I mean, a knee replacement is quite a big surgery, and it does have a certain risk of infection, and a certain number of people die from this surgery. So if we can replace an expensive and painful operation with an inexpensive and painless procedure, I think doctors are going to be looking at this more and more in the years ahead. So that's the thing I'm most excited about.
How interesting. What have you been doing yourself to deal with the level of electropollution around us? I know Ray is very, very excited and wants everything to go wireless, but there's all these problems with everything being wireless, and that is we constantly have electropollution at us all the time with the cell phones, the cell towers, and more. What are you doing to help yourself to avoid being hit by high levels of electropollution?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any specific therapies that I know of for that. At one time, I was using like a Bluetooth with my cell phone because I felt that the Bluetooth radiation was far less than the cell phone radiation. But in that I have a family history of Alzheimer's disease, and some recent studies have shown that cell phone radiation actually can break down the neurofibrillary tangles that are associated with Alzheimer's disease. I actually hold the cell phone up to my head now in order to potentially break down neurofibrillary tangles, Alzheimer's plaques. So, but in terms of other things like Wi-Fi nets and things in airplanes, I don't know of anything that's been shown to be totally effective for that. So I do have general detox things. I have a far infrared sauna in my house.
I hear they're great.
Yeah, they are. And they are at a lower temperature than the standard saunas. They're supposed to penetrate deeper in the skin and release more toxins